I've written 11 novels now and no short stories. And it's one of those things I've got a lot of friends who write short stories. I love reading the form myself. Often when you're writing a novel, you get about a third of the way through and you go, I have so much more to say, it's impossible to slow this down. So for me, it's a massive challenge to write a novella for quick reads and to actually try and get a full story across with what I like as a full arc where, you're meeting the character, you get a lot of action in the end and a good resolution. And it's hard enough to do in a novel, and it was a tough challenge to pull off for quick reads, but it made it a very exciting writing experience as a result.
And how does Hostage fit into your sort of portfolio of thrillers?
Well, the new series of thrillers I'm writing features a hostage negotiator called Danny Shanklin. And the first book I wrote about him was published last year called Hunted. I'm writing the sequel, Wanted. And of course this faced me with a challenge where when I was asked to write a quick reads, I wanted to do a story with Danny, but I obviously couldn't set it after Hunted and Wanted, or people would know whether or not he'd survived the book. So for me it was an obvious thing to do was to write a prequel. And this is very exciting because obviously I've got a character who's up and running already, but it meant I could go back to finding a little bit more about him, where he came from, how he became the man that he is. So that's very much what Hostage is. It's him after he's stopped working for the CIA and he's just gone into the private sector, and it's one of the first jobs he takes on. So we're seeing a much younger, slightly more naive operator, a more idealistic man, but that was an exciting challenge as well.
And how does a kid from Cardiff get so knowledgeable about the American CIA scene?
I'm going to avoid saying by the power of Google, so we shall know you. But research is so different now. When I started out writing, I was first published in 1995, and that was a thriller then. That was a thriller set in Tenby, weirdly. But because I say weirdly because there aren't that many mass murders that actually occur in Tenby, but I made sure some did happen. And then researching was very different because it was a matter of going to the library. And I can remember writing books, and the whole way through he picked up his blank because I didn't know the name of a gun, and that would involve a trip to the library to go and find that out. Whereas now, of course, you can research this online. But one of the tips, I do a few talks on writing, and one of the biggest tip I give to any aspiring writer is work somewhere where the internet is not on. Divide your research time from your writing time, because otherwise you can fall foul of writing and looking up a bit of research, and you know how the internet is, you go from one site to another, and there's your precious 2 hours after work when you were planning on writing your novel is now gone. So I think it's easy to research these days, so it's easy for me to research about the CIA or whatever it may be, but I'm also very, very careful to divide my writing time from my researching time.